Turkey Foreign Minister Çavuşoğlu meets his Russian counterpart, discusses Ukrainian grain situation. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu met his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov and discussed about the situation of Ukrainian grain. Addressing a joint press conference with Lavrov, the Turkish minister said that a UN plan to resume Ukrainian grain exports over a sea corridor was realistic, but that more negotiations with Moscow and Kyiv are needed to secure the safety. Norway delivers 20 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine. On Tuesday, Norway delivered 20 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine for use on the front lines, said Norwegian Defense Minister Bjorn Arild. Aeroflot to keep records of toilet paper on flights to Turkey. Report. Russian airline Aeroflot on Tuesday announced that it will maintain a record of toilet paper rolls on flights to Turkey. Exhausted Russian soldiers in Ukraine complain of long deployment. Russian soldiers, fighting for President Vladimir Putin's special military operation in Ukraine, are approaching exhaustion as the war moves past the grim 100-day mark. Russia's military aggression in eastern Ukraine has brought some desperately needed success for Moscow, especially after being dissatisfied with its advances in Kyiv. Putin's forces have also gradually moved towards fierce fighting in Donbas. However, all these gains have come at a high price for the Russian troops in Ukraine. Evidence has also emerged that shows significantly high level of casualties amid increased fatigue. Ever since the war started in late February, some fightings in the Russian army have gone public with their appeals to the Kremlin leader to probe into battlefield conditions and if their deployment to the front lines is even legal. The Guardian cited two videos, which emerged on social media, showing fighters from Russia-controlled East Ukraine complaining about the poor conditions and long terms of duty on the front lines leading to the Russian fighters from the 113th Regiment in Donetsk said in one video, "Our personnel have faced hunger and cold, for a significant period, we were without any material, medical or food support. Given our continuous presence and the fact that amongst our personnel there are people with chronic medical issues, people with mental issues, many questions arise that are ignored by the higher-ups at headquarters," the fighters added. Zelensky announces book of torturers to hold alleged Russian war criminals accountable. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that a book of tortures will be launched in the country which would document war criminals and criminals from the Russian army. In the Daily Nightly address on Tuesday, Zelensky noted, "These are specific facts about specific people who are guilty of specific violent crimes against Ukrainians." He also said that the creation of this system has been ongoing for some time now, as the Russia-Ukraine war entered day 105. Zelensky said, "And such a book of torturers is one of the foundations of the responsibility of not only the direct perpetrators of war crimes, soldiers of the occupying army, but also those who gave orders. Those who made possible everything they did in Ukraine. In Bucha, in Mariupol, in all our cities, in all the communities they have reached." IBM suspends business operations in Russia. In a statement, IBM President Arvind Krishna on Tuesday informed that the company will be winding down its operations in Russia due to the war. The decision was taken to ensure the safety of the employees, he said. However, the company will be paying its employees in Russia. Ukrainian official claims in every 5 minutes a Russian soldier dies. Odessa Regional Military Administration spokesperson Serhiy Brachuk, on Tuesday, claimed that a Russian soldier dies every 5 minutes on His Telegram post came after Ukrainian Defense Forces on Tuesday night destroyed an ammo depot in southern Odessa region that reportedly belonged to the Russian troops. Ukraine's success in war depends on weapons, sanctions, political support from West, Zelensky. Ukraine's further success in the war against the Russian aggressor and the occupation of territories depend not only on the unity of the Ukrainian people and the strength of the armed forces but also on the weapons supplied to us by partner states, political support, and consistent Western sanctions policy, stated by President Volodymyr Zelensky in an interview with Financial Times. ISW claims Russia fired indiscriminately at civilians at Kherson checkpoint. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, in its latest war briefing claimed that Russian troops had indiscriminately fired at civilians and vehicles at a checkpoint in Kherson. The US-based think tank also said that the arbitrary attack was a resultant of growing fear of defeat among Russian troops in the wake of strong Ukrainian defense. US State Secretary discusses impact of Russian war on global food security with Ukrainian counterpart. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman on Tuesday met with her Ukrainian counterpart Dmytro Kuleba. The diplomats discussed the impact of Russia's brutal war on global food security and our support for the export of Ukrainian grain to international markets, said U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price in a statement. Former German Chancellor defends her opposition to Ukraine's NATO membership. Ex-German Chancellor Angela Merkel on Tuesday explained her opposition to Ukraine's accession to NATO in 2008. Speaking to Germany-based news agency, ARD, Merkel said she thinks Kyiv's membership will push Moscow to harm Ukraine. Russian FM arrives in Turkey to discuss grain exports through security corridors in Ukraine. Amid the looming global food crisis, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Wednesday arrived in Turkey. Lavrov will discuss potential plans to resume grain exports from Ukrainian ports in the Black Sea. The meeting comes after Ankara had offered to escort maritime convoys from blocked southern Ukraine ports, mainly Odessa and Mariupol. U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine visits Bucha to assess atrocities committed by Russian troops. U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Bridget Brink on Tuesday visited the town of Bucha on the outskirts of Kyiv, the place of mass burial of the citizens killed by the occupiers, the torture chamber in the children's camp, where civilians were shot, the houses smashed by shells. The Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United States to Ukraine Bridget Brink saw all these places of large-scale crimes of the Russian Federation's army in Bucha today. Canada welcomes new Ukrainian ambassador. The new ambassador of Ukraine to Canada, Yulia Kovalev, on Tuesday presented her credentials to Canadian Governor-General Mary Saunders. The ceremony formalized Kovalev as the head of the Ukrainian diplomatic mission in the country.